booked this hostel and I have a single room. It's called the Tree House. I have this little bed here to lay on. Here's my view. So here I am in San Ignacio, Belize. It's pretty cute. You have like a little area. I'm gonna take a little snooze and then I'm gonna go try to check out the ruins. There's some ruins that are really close by. I think I need to get there before 4 or 5. Just gonna take a little siesta and then I'll head down. Let's talk Belize. I came from the northern part of Guatemala in Tikal. I was there seeing the ruins, and then I just took a transfer bus from Tikal. You could also go from Flores, which is the little city. It's like a little island that's really close to Tikal, maybe 1 hour away. And then you can take a transfer from there across the border to Belize if you want to go to San Ignacio. You could also go skip San Ignacio and go directly to Belize City. About a 6-hour transfer, so stopping in San Ignacio actually added a little bit of time to my trip. But the reason I wanted to go there was that there is these ruins. Okay, I'm on the bus here. Whoop, whoop. We're going to the ATM caves. This is the guides, Alex and Richard. Whoop, whoop. I can't take my camera in the ATM cave, so I'm just taking a little video now, but I'll tell you how it is, right? It's gonna be fun. It's gonna be fun. It's gonna be fun. Now you can remember ATM cave. So this is the cave where they had these Mayan sacrifices. And so as you go further into the cave, you get different kinds of sacrifices. So towards the front of the cave, you get like pottery and some other interesting things. But as you move further into this cave, you get some human sacrifices. So you see some human remains from hundreds and hundreds of years ago. It was an incredible experience. It's a whole day tour to the ATM caves. I want to say it was around $80 to $85 American dollars. They pick you up, you go for the whole morning. You have to wear a life vest because you're actually going into the cave and in the water. You swim, you hike into the cave, and at one point you're in this like sacred area or sacred grounds. You actually have to take your shoes off and just wear your socks to walk into this dirt part up into the higher elevations of the cave. Incredible experience. Also the drive there, you'll see farm fields, these beautiful farm fields, and then all of a sudden out of nowhere there's just this like island of wild grass and like trees and stuff going. And they said that there are places that are sacred, that are from the Mayan times, that they won't touch. So the farmers will like farm all around that and not even mess with this area if it's on sacred ground. So something really interesting. So I finished up the cave stuff with these guys. Woo! I was trying to go up to these ruins just outside of town, and they aren't supposed to close till 5. I got there at 4:15 and they already closed. The cave hike was incredible. It was an all-day event. You're in the water, swimming, hiking, climbing. Met up with a couple of these guys, Jack and Nico, one from Germany, one from England. They had done like a survival. You can pay to go to the jungle. It's basically like Survivor. And you have the 2 guides that are with you that just will only help you if you need it, and you have to make your own shelter, and you have to catch your own food with spear guns. So these guys just went to that for 2 days, which was really cool. Not something I'd be interested in doing, but if you guys love like Survivor and would like that experience, they can do it here in Belize. I am this morning here at a Mayan kind of reserve. It's called Cajal Pech. It's just outside of San Ignacio. It's actually just on the city outskirts. What I'm finding is these Mayan Mayan ruins. I just came from Tikal, which was in Guatemala. They have just like different settlements. They would be like different tribes within the Mayan culture. This one's much smaller, so hopefully I can get through it. I came yesterday like at 4:15, maybe 4:10, and they were like closed. It's like, it says it doesn't close till 5, and they were like, no, we're closing. So I said, okay, I will come back this morning because my shuttle leaves at 9:30. So I'm kind of cutting it close, but I woke up actually this morning at like 7. The birds are so loud here, which is really lovely, but they wake me up, and I just decided to go for it. So I jumped in a cab, which the taxi's here. You just have to look for the green license plate. That's a taxi, but they just look like little jalopy cars. So I waved a guy down. He was taking another woman some other place, pulled over, cost me 7 Belize, which is about $3.50 US. So just remember, in Belize, you cut it in half, and that's the American dollar. That helps. Here at Cahill, it's raining. It's a lot more wet, feels a lot more humid here than it did in Tikal. It's a little drier. They have the same stone structures at the bottom. One thing I noticed though is that there is no signs, which is you can climb, go on any of these, where in Tikal there was a lot of people and a lot of just rules and guidelines. Here it's $10. You could just come in, explore for the whole day. A great place, I think, if you were wanting to come paint or draw. It's kind of a hidden gem. I really like it. It does feel a little eerie and sacred here, but also beautiful. This is Cajal Pech, and I'm in San Ignacio in Belize. So it's a few hours from Belize City. Inland, you're almost at the Guatemalan border. Worth a trip, lots of beautiful, it's a cute little town, really little. It's not much. There's a market, but like for $2, I got a big papaya that lasted me my whole time here. So that was a good deal. However, the yogurt I bought, little container, I didn't realize how much it was. It was a Greek yogurt, $6. So things are definitely way more expensive here than I noticed in Guatemala. Also, I didn't know that Belize is an English-speaking country. So that was also news to me when I was crossing over the border from Guatemala, having been speaking Spanish for like, I don't know, the last month. And then all of a sudden you cross the border and they're speaking English. It's an interesting thing. The people are a mix. You have Creole, which is like a English slang mix. I don't even know, I can't understand any of it. You have Spanish and you have English. And also the people are mixed. So you have more of a Black influence versus a Hispanic influence versus also this mix with white. So it's like every interesting kind of culture that you can imagine. After I got done with San Ignacio, which by the way, there is an artist, Reyes, who's there. He's a Cuban artist, but his work was phenomenal. I fell in love with one of his pieces at one of the local coffee shops, and then I went to his gallery and he was doing this latest painting style using the different soils from the different ruins of the Mayans in that area of San Ignacio. So if you get to San Ignacio, there's nothing really to see in the city other than there's a market, there's a little smaller set of ruins there, but coming from Tikal, it wasn't that exciting. If you haven't seen any ruins, definitely go to check it out. But then go to Reyes, R-E-Y-E-S, to his gallery, and it's also a coffee shop. The artwork is phenomenal. Okay guys, I am here in San Ignacio, Belize. And I stumbled upon this artist because I was having a breakfast just down the street at Marta's. I was really intrigued with his work. He did a Frida Kahlo piece that was incredible. And I just want to show you, he did this whole entire Mayan series. So these pieces are all separate, but together they make up one amazing sculpture. He's using soil, he's using wax from candles, and doing all kinds of things to make the texture. I'm gonna flip it around here and then I'm gonna show you guys a little bit more about the art. His name is Fernando Reina, and they also have a coffee bar here and a wine bar here. They are doing some kids classes that every summer that they're doing here. He was explaining to me just how in this area, like a lot of people don't really know about art. They're kind of, it's new for them. And so doing something so unique and different takes a while to get people on board with it. I love that he's using all these different textures, and in each of his paintings, they have combination of soil, of charcoal. He even used cigars from Cuba on some of his paintings and mashed up the cigars and then used that as like as basically like a watercolor. So I'm gonna flip this around and you guys can take a look. We'll do a walk through the studio here in San Ignacio. Super excited to get to meet Fernando Reina. This is all part of the Mayan series that he did using wax and different kinds of texture and even the soil and dirt from the Mayan ruins. So Belize is home to many of the Mayan ruins, and I love this one. Here he's using some different, not chalk or charcoal, but also the ash. And this one has a reflection of the ruins from the top to the bottom. So as you can see, it's on loose canvas. And I think he's basically come in with a little bit of charcoal and then come back in and done, it's almost like a watercolor technique on that. Using completely different materials and even pieces of charcoal or chalk. I want you guys to see the soil and the different products in which he's using. I love these pieces here. He's used a lot of different, completely modern and using materials, found objects from different parts. He has some pieces that are more detailed, as you can see, but my favorite pieces are the ones he's used this soil. Absolutely stunning. Let's walk over and see what he's doing for his work. Right now he is in the midst of painting. Here he is. This is the guy. This is the man of the hour. So here's his canvas, and he's also using, it looks like oils, but a mix of that with some soil. ¿Tú puedes darnos el vaso de cigars? Do you have? He was showing me earlier that he made some of those paintings with cigar ash from Cuba. And so he literally added that with some water and some other products and worked it as a painting. And that painting was over here. Look at this incredible work that he has. He won an award for that in Cuba. And that's been about 10 years ago, and it's still holding up with just cigar ash. Incredible. Fernando shared with me when he's making these, he has actually taken his canvas and then on the back side, he's created a canvas within a canvas over the top. It actually has a wood frame that he's built on the inside, and as you can see, it's like here, and then you see the wax in the inside. He uses this primer, which is just mixing that with water and then sealing that back over the top. You can see how big it is. It would be amazing on its own wall, its own place. I just love the work that he's doing. So I will put all of his information. He's in San Ignacio, Belize. His name is Fernando Reina. I'm gonna sign off here. We're gonna say goodbye.
Bye, thank you.
I'm so happy I met him. He was using soil from all the different locations in that area, in that region, and then creating and painting these indigenous people and different abstract paintings that had to do with the ruins of the Mayans in that area. So definitely a highlight for me to get to talk to an artist, local artist. He's also doing a lot of things, programs for kids and trying to create a mural project that was there in the city. Really interesting person, but the artwork was also phenomenal. From San Ignacio, I took another transfer to Belize City. I didn't stay in Belize City, so I can't really speak to that, whether that's worth stopping in or going to, because most people just use Belize City as a hub to take then a ferry to one of the islands. I chose Kikaker because I had heard about these beautiful beaches and this amazing vibe of this island. There's no cars, so you just use golf carts and you can use bicycles, and it's just quaint and small and wonderful. Okay,
We just made it here to Cape Kalker. I think some of the locals call it Key Kalker. It's this little island in Belize. Took a ferry. It took about 45 minutes. There's a couple different ferries that go different times throughout the day. It's not my favorite thing to do, taking ferries. Get a little bit seasick, but it was okay. I sat by the window. Everything here is very Caribbean island vibes, and I was just surprised that I didn't realize Belize, they'll speak English. It was an English, we're over them, I think until 1981, so they're fairly new in terms of being independent. I'm on my way to my hostel, hopefully get situated and settled, and then maybe go take a dip in this beautiful water. The water is the most incredible turquoise blue I've ever seen. It's amazing.
Expecting white sandy beaches. I was expecting to see this like amazing water that would have like all of the ideas in my brain of like, okay, this is gonna be my beach time. Instead, Cape Kalker has what's called the spit. Now, I was expecting again the spit to be a place where maybe the land goes out and you have this beautiful beach, but no. The spit is actually just a cement wall. And there's some steps that take you down into the water. You just lay, I guess, on the cement wall. There's maybe some loungers that are there at the Lizard Lounge, which is like a bar at the end of the island there. But I was really disappointed in the beaches. I was expecting to have some kind of amazing white sand. Now you can get that, but you have to take a ferry from that little island to the northern part of the island. Took a ferry with my little bike. I rented a bike for the day, and then from there you go to the very north of that island. And there are some beaches, some are public and some are private. The one I found was a public one. It was really nice, but it was a day that was super windy, so I didn't even really get to enjoy swimming. They had a lot of like lounge chairs. They had even beds that you could lay on. You didn't have to pay anything for the use of it. You only had to pay if you wanted to buy something to eat or to drink, which is totally fair.
Okay, I have finally made it here to this beach, and it's free to come out here and enjoy this beach. It's on the north side of Cape Kalker. Today is kind of windy, so hoping that it's going to be still an enjoyable time. They have a bar and beautiful areas set up here. This is how I imagine Belize to be, and it doesn't cost anything. You just are supposed to buy food from the bar, so I'm going to make myself comfortable. Biking on the north shore of Cape Kalker. You can rent a bike, $10-15 for half a day, and I think $20 for the whole day, or $10 for half a day, maybe $15 for the whole day. I think that's it. Well worth it. There are golf carts, also motorized bikes. It was quite a trek to get here, a lot longer than I thought, but it's, whoops, nope, this is the wrong way. There's a lot of turns.
Before that, I took a snorkeling tour. They take you right out to the reef, and you spend the whole day on the boat. So it's a little much if you get seasick. Just be prepared. I did bring some Dramamine, so in case I was starting to feel a little nauseous from being out on the boat for so long. But the snorkeling, I will admit, was the top I've ever done. Even over Hawaii, even over other places in the Caribbean. I swam with stingrays. I swam with a whole bunch of sharks, which I was a little nervous getting in when you've got these big nurse sharks, but they're completely harmless, I think. At least they were with me. I saw sea turtles. I saw the most amazing different tropical fish. That part, like just the snorkeling, is an incredible experience if you do that in Cape Kalker.
Friends, if you want some action, put your hands over like that, and they're gonna jump and give you a high five, okay? Cause they're very strong, right?
I don't want to put my hands up, but I'll watch you guys do it.
Strong.
Oh, that is crazy. What if they get Like, what if they fight
you
it?
did.
Yeah, you did?
Yeah,
You got
it's
it?
fine now. It didn't get it.
Well, you could lose a finger.
Pretty big, right?
Really big. Wow.
This is their #1 restaurant here, guys.
Oh my.
Every boat that comes feeds them.
Okay, so I'm here trying to chase the sunset. I spent the whole day snorkeling, incredible. I took you to 7 different spots out in the ocean. It's just one of those like really magical days where we had stingrays. I swam with these huge nurse sharks. It was just a beautiful day. 6 hours out on the boat. You have lunch there on the boat with everybody. Is a little bit long. I got a little bit seasick. I had to take some Dramamine. In the end, it was just this fabulous day. I love the motto, go slow. It reminds me of Lopez Island, and everybody before when you're leaving or whatever, they'll say, hey, go slow, just take it easy. So I'm gonna try to go catch the sunset.
There's also a part of the island where they have all of these stingrays that come up kind of towards the shore and you can feed them. It's off of a hotel off of the backside there. And it's a little bit of a tourist trap. I mean, in terms of just like everybody who's feeding the stingrays are tourists. But it's not like you have to, I think you maybe pay for the fish food or something. I was just there to catch the sunset and to check out the stingrays.
So we're just down here at the beach. This is where there's all these stingrays. The owner here at the Iguana Reefs out here with the fish, hand feeding each of these stingrays.
The snorkeling was around $100, so just plan for that. It did include lunch, but you're eating on the boat. So there's no real stop once you leave in the morning. You are on the boat for the whole entire day. Can get a little exhausting, and like I said, you have to be kind of prepared if you get seasick. But overall, amazing. Can't speak to the other islands. I think every island has its own energy. It's definitely got this kind of Caribbean vibe in the evenings. There's guys playing guitars, there's bars that are open late. The food was good, a lot of fish focused food, but it was more expensive because you're really geared towards the tourism. A lot of people spent, weeks there. They just had their bikes and they enjoyed this kind of slow island life. For me, I felt like 3 days was really enough. 3 or 4 days was more than enough for me to get the, the snorkeling done, to get the feel of the island, and also to finally find a nice beach. So if you had 3 or 4 days and you wanted to just do snorkeling was your focus, also people who love to scuba said that this was one of the best places for scuba diving. Some notes to take from that for Belize. Also for people who can't speak Spanish or it's hard for them, Belize is something to consider because they do speak English everywhere.
My last day in Belize, and I am headed to the airport with my trusty driver Arnold. Whoop whoop. He's done a great job getting me here smoothly and safely. Yes, thank you, Jesus. I agree. We've just been chatting. I've been trying to actually get into my check-in, but it's not working. But it's okay because we've got plenty of time. I'm not feeling stressed. On to Panama and goodbye to Belize.
So my take on Belize, I thought that the ATM caves and going to the Mayan ruins in a cave was something completely unique and different than I've ever done before. I would say that Key Calker for me was a little bit of a disappointment just because the beaches weren't as amazing as I was expecting. San Ignacio was a lot more inexpensive than when you were on the islands. So something else to consider for that. If I had more time, maybe I would have explored a little bit of Belize City because I've heard that that's also nice, or I would have definitely checked out some of the other islands. Because of my time constraint, I was there for maybe a total of 5-6 days, a couple days in San Ignacio so I could do the cave tour, and then onwards towards Belize City and Key Calker. So overall, I thought Belize was really interesting. amazing. Like I said, I was a little bit disappointed in the beaches, but it could have just been the area that I chose. It did have some beautiful white sandy beaches, but in the north. There are 2 islands that are separated by a channel, so you have to take a little ferry. They go every day, multiple times a day, and it's a couple dollars. It's not expensive, but it's just the inconvenience of having to come from one island to the next. If you want a little bit more vibrancy with some music and maybe more restaurants and a little bit more energy, then stay on the south side of Key Cocker. Yeah, next stop is Panama. So don't forget, I'm doing 50 countries in 1 year. I turned 50 and I'm doing 50 in 50. So please subscribe to follow along as I hit each country here, almost all of them in Central South America, but also I'll be in Europe. And if you've not been following along, make sure to subscribe now. And don't forget, you're a 10, you're a 10, you're a 10.